read.
Sorry. Going to call this meeting to order. We'll start with the invocation. We'll recite the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge, and then we'll resume.
Dear Father, as we come before you today to discuss important matters, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. You are the source of all knowledge and understanding. Therefore, we seek your direction in our decision-making process. Help us to listen attentively to one another with open hearts and minds. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We do have a quorum established at this moment. We can take time for citizen comments if there are any. Please feel free to come to the podium and introduce yourself. We will call for citizens' comments before every individual item as well. Okay, we'll enter into the public hearing. Request to amend the future land use plan map for an area in the general vicinity of 1806 Sunnyside Road. Go in.
We need to start the time.
The time, yeah, 6:02 p.m. You'll go ahead and tell us about it.
Good evening, everyone. What we have here is a future land use map amendment for the area at 1806 Sunnyside Road. What you have in front of you is a lot that was in the future land use plan, or in the map. 3/4 of that property does recommend commercial. It does have it as commercial. The other part is residential. It's this one.
I don't have that one. I might be looking at the, oh, I found it. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So the applicant, well, to have it, to rezone it to the commercial, we have to go through the process of amending the map, of course, the whole area there. 3/4 of it is, the remaining is not.
3/4 of it is residential, or it's already commercial?
It's recommended as
Okay,
commercial.
okay.
And it's still zoned residential,
Okay,
but in our future land use plan, it says it's recommended for commercial.
and that was from 2014, correct?
2014, yes.
The property in front that's in the red is currently commercial, that has an RV park on it?
Yes.
And I saw the notice sign, if any residents reply back to it, or did something go out for the residents?
Oh, yes, all the notices were sent out, yes. And there was notices published in the paper too.
Was there any response from any of the surrounding residents?
No response, no objections.
Okay.
But this is right up against, there's, across the street are brand new homes, there's the, kind of a mini ranch next door as well. Is the property owner here to speak to this?
Yeah, I'm not here. I guess I do have, if the property owner doesn't mind stepping up, I have a few questions.
Well, he's gonna come complete.
He'll come on me, okay, sorry.
Let us end on this, and then we'll do the zoning. We didn't call for comments on A, that's okay. Monica, do I come out?
You can move on to the next one.
Okay, do I stay in or do I
You
come
can
out?
stay in.
Okay. We'll move on to B, a request to rezone a property from residential single-family R1 to commercial C at 1802 and 1806 Sunnyside Road. At this time, we'll entertain citizen comments regarding the rezoning of that property. You'll step forward, please.
Hello, my only question is.
Can you state your name, please?
Oh, Elisa Solorio, and I reside at 1811 Sunnyside.
Okay.
The only question that I have is exactly what is it that they're trying to build there? Because, and the only reason I'm asking this, the letter only stated the rezoning, but not exactly what's
Going to be put there.
correct.
You wanna?
Yes, the application says RV and boat storage.
Thank you. That was my only question.
Okay.
Larry Lock, 1814 Sunnyside Road. I'm directly next to the property. As y'all responded earlier, 1802, y'all said 1806 was commercial. I had no clue that was ever commercial. 1802 was commercial, correct?
No, sir, both of those lots right now are residential.
Both are residential. You had said something about something being,
The RV park and right in front of it, what borders on 181 is commercial, the RV park.
okay, and that does not border 181. That borders the back of this gentleman's property. So there is no border to 181 on that, correct?
Correct, but what I was saying was the land use plan, the map recommends that 3/4 of it to be commercial.
1802 or 1806?
1802, and actually 1806 both. It
Okay,
does
because
mix them both.
those were two different properties. One was 5 acres, one was 2 acres, right around there?
Right.
Okay. I just had no clue those was zone recommended commercial.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. All right.
Okay, so I don't mean to appear dumb or anything, but I'm not understanding exactly what's transpired because I see a RV park that's right up against 181. And that is commercial right now, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so right behind that is the property that is residential, that's wanting to be rezoned to commercial.
Yes.
And these are two lots that are in the brown.
There are two lots.
City, the RV's behind the parking ride.
I'm sorry?
The RV's behind the parking ride, it's not frontage.
Hotels, the hotels.
So you got the motel, and you got the RV park,
Mm-hmm,
that part is commercial.
mm-hmm.
The other part that we're asking to be commercial, in the future land use map, it's recommended.
To go
add it
commercial.
To where you see the yellow part, that line, that's recommended on the blue to be commercial. The other piece wasn't, which is the yellow spot, that's residential. And you can find that on the future land use map on our website.
Put that up on the screen.
Any questions? I do. I heard you say, and this is probably for the owner of the property, for the RV and boat storage, is there ordinances for lighting and safety, noise as well that could happen if somebody is pulling in and unloading stuff? Because obviously there's somebody who's got an investment, their home next door. So what type of city ordinance are there to protect those landowners, those homeowners?
One of the ordinance would be for noise, excessive the noise is, after 10 o'clock, I believe. There's other times for the weekends and holidays, that change, but that is an ordinance for noise.
For RV parks and
For
storage
anything in general,
and lighting as well, to protect the surrounding homes from too much light?
that, we would, talk to the owner about.
We technically don't have an ordinance on lighting. There's not anything in place right now, there's no lighting, light
So the
ordinance.
potential of making this commercial could cause the neighboring properties to lose value because of the extended traffic going in and the lighting and noise congestion.
There is, and there also are setbacks also that they would need to follow. So that might help a little bit with lighting, but we don't have an official lighting ordinance right
Now,
now.
what is the setback
So
amount?
setbacks, when a commercial is butting up against a residential property, it's a 25-foot setback.
Jacob, that's not very much for
No,
light.
I'm just telling you what the
That's not
ordinance
enough, I know,
is.
I'm just saying, she's got a legitimate
Well, of
concern.
And I guess to the owner, sir, if you don't mind, when I see an RV and, storage area that's what, gated, security, what's your plan for the property?
Yeah, it's got gates around it, you know, you're gonna have 2 gates up in the front, and then it's gonna have an 8-foot fence all the way around it, and it's gonna have security cameras. So it's gonna be push button in and push button out.
And not manned, it's gonna be just, there for anyone.
We're gonna put an office up front. I don't know what the hours will be right now, we gotta just make sure this all goes through before we even plan any order. But the other ones that you see around, the other one is over by Livonia, that's not manned, they call, and they give you the code to go in, you pay online, and then you go in, park your RV, the allotted spot,
Thank you.
and then that's it. But we would be around running it. And we were even talking about maybe doing, you know, parking the RVs for customers.
How many slots are you looking at doing?
I think the initial is, 60,
60 RVs?
yes, RV
Or
spots.
boats?
So they're 40 foot by 12 foot, or 45 foot by 12 foot. And that could be an RV, that could be, a truck that you have like in the front of your house that's taking up space and you don't want it in front of your house anymore, you have a spot, park it in there.
So, can I have a question?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I'm looking at your application and you cited boat and RV storage. I didn't know that, it doesn't cite that you're making it into an RV park.
It's not gonna be an RV park.
It's an
just
RV storage.
Nobody's gonna be living there, this is just dropping their stuff off and getting out.
There you go.
It's just like a mini storage, but for bigger things, for recreational vehicles and trucks, buses, trailers, equipment, and it's all gonna be covered, there's gonna be metal buildings back there.
Okay.
Oh, really? All of the spaces?
It's like the one on 775?
Not, well, what you park under, it's like, yeah, going to Livonia.
Yeah, on
Just
775.
like that.
And what is your plan to protect your neighbors from the noise and the lighting?
Well, for one, I'm doing an 8-foot fence, and then I'm gonna put some kind of barrier on that fence to keep the lighting, all the lights are gonna point inward
Okay,
on it, inward and down, where you could just see the property. There's not, right now, whenever I wake up in the middle of the night, all I see is the hotel light coming through my yard. In the back of us, there's also a commercial property, and that's all I see is fourplexes, lights coming through our house. So I don't want that for anybody else. I especially don't want that for all the neighbors who live on Sunnyside Road. So all the lights are gonna be inward, and we're gonna try to do as much as we can to make everybody around us happy. That's not what we're about, is to make anybody sad. That's why everybody's here, and if they have anything to say, I want them to come up here so we know. You know, if somebody doesn't feel right about this, I would like to know. I'm not out here to put anybody out. You know, I'm just looking for retirement for me and my family.
Are you planning on living at 1802?
For the time being, yes. The only thing we're turning into commercial is gonna be around that, that's 6 acres. We're leaving the .64 where the house is alone, that's gonna stay residential. So we bought the 4.9 something acres by itself, and then after that, we bought the 1.71, and then we had it added together, which is the replating.
There is a replat in there.
So there's a replat
Yeah,
of making it one property and then cutting out the 0.6, so we're changing 3 different times. But leaving the house and then making everything around it commercial. So we have 2 sides in commercial, 1 side in residential, and then a street in front.
And if you look on the screen, you can see where it's, where it shows the red. Oh, that tree line, that's his property.
May I walk up there?
And you see like a little drive right next to it, that's the edge of his property.
Y'all see this tree line right here?
Yeah.
This skinny part right here was the second piece of land I bought, which was 1.71 acres. That was an old abandoned house in the front that I tore down. Okay, so what we were doing, this was the first land, 4.95. Both of those property, and then making this where the original house is up here, 0.6 acres, right here, and then the rest of this is gonna be commercial. This is commercial, this is commercial, this is residential, right here.
Yes.
So this is what's becoming one piece. So your line for future goes right down the middle of the 4 point whatever acres that we bought at first. But this is all in commercial, the 1.71, and then half of the 4.95.
You're trying to make it all the way to the next house.
Right here is our
It's to
fence
that
line.
road, that road that you're looking at, the white road. That's my house.
That's
Right.
his house.
And you want that butting up against that, that's gonna stay residential, or is that gonna go commercial?
That's it. Oh, well, this would, I
In
want
between
this
the
to
red
be
and his
commercial,
house.
butting up to
Yeah.
that. But on residential, what is it, 25 or a 35 foot?
25,
You
27.
can't build any closer to that fence than that, so, I mean, that's
So
how
even
far
around
we
that
can
house,
go.
he's gonna have to abide by the setbacks as well.
So they're essentially 50 feet. He's got a 25-foot setback and the house does too, right?
Yes, because it's butted up against it, so.
So in other words, he can't put anything within 25 feet of his property line, and neither can the residents. So basically, essentially, there's 50 feet. Okay.
How big are the lots in this subdivision?
They
Lots.
very,
The size.
Well, on this one map, they look kind of big, so I'm not like, are
As
you
far
be
as
okay
the-
with everybody doing this?
I mean, if it's
These
cost
guys
for the
want to make theirs partly commercial, like what's to stop everybody around here from?
Or the future land map,
Yeah, that's your land use.
we're just following what's in here.
Right? We saw that in the last one. You
yeah,
guys don't
and
care
this,
about that.
we're talking future land use from 2014 still, correct?
Yes.
That hasn't been updated and approved since 2014.
Correct.
And I like that point you made, sir, thank you for that, because I would be concerned, those are some beautiful homes across the street there, that their property values could be impacted. That's why I'm surprised there's not as many. Thank you for coming and speaking to the lady first, because those are, to me, I think that this could impact their home values by having commercial RV and boat storage across the street from them. I don't have any additional questions, and I would make a motion.
There is no motion on this.
It's not, okay, thank you. I
Thank you.
think we have another person.
So my property is right across the street, and I have La Quinta that's on 181. The lighting from the Quinta comes all the way to my property. So, talking about the lighting and how is that going to affect the front, although there's really not a lot of lighting on 181, on Sunnyside. So that was one of my questions. The second one is the traffic. The traffic off of Sunnyside, because we have that, what is it? The,
Cycle ran.
cycle rent on Saturdays and Sundays, it's like really, really bad. And, mind you, I don't think there's a lot of kids living there, well, not his kids live there, but we don't really have very little kids, but I do plan on having kids, so I wanna know what that's gonna look like for us. And then the third thing is, what are the tax implications gonna be for, residents if that becomes a commercial property?
Well, your property will remain residential, so, unless you apply for a zoning change.
Correct, but
So
having
it
a
shouldn't
commercial
impact
property.
you as long as your property stays residential,
Okay,
them being commercial.
okay.
Um, But and to be fair, I think a storage, area is not going to create a traffic jam, going in and out of there. My concern is that commercial, in my opinion, needs to have its own accessibility to what it's, potentially going to, front on. And being that this property has another property in front of it, so it doesn't have its own access to 181 that does bother me, because, I think that it should. But it's behind another property, that's commercial. Right.
I got a question real quick.
Come on, and please state your name for us.
Larry Lotka, 1814 Sunnyside Road. You mind if I walk this back?
Not at all.
Is this just recommendations from a
There was a-
2014 map, or what is
Yes,
this?
there was a land use,
We had a consultant that came in at that time to do a study, and this is what they had given us.
This is what the city approved back in 2014.
Well, that's kind of concerning, because I know that y'all are not familiar with all this, but anything that you're looking at besides this gentleman's hotel on the right side, and I'll show it to you over here, it's all residential. I mean, does anybody meet with this committee and say, hey, we're not gonna turn all this residential into commercial? Wow, this is blurry when you get up close. So this is commercial now. This is residential, all of this. I cannot even see this one. There we go. So all of this area right here, that's, this gentleman's house, which is brand new. You just built that house when? 2018, 20? How old is your house, sir? 18. But, I mean, this is all residential here. This is residential. There's, 2 more houses that would be residential here. I mean, I think that something that needs to be looked at is why we're trying to turn residential into commercial where people live, especially on residential streets. So, I mean, and that kind of follows this area all back in here. I mean, that would cut out all of these homes. That's all residential in here. I know that's something that y'all are looking at, but it's just kind of concerning to residents that some of these people have lived there 70 years. So,
I can tell you that that's why we have these open meetings. And
Right.
I promise you, I've been doing this for a year, and the last 2 meetings we've had the most people that, nobody comes
oh, I'm sorry.
to voice their opinion, right? So if nobody comes to us, it's like, okay, nobody really cares about it. That's why we're glad you guys are here to state your case, right? Like the last meeting we had. Public involvement is great.
Yes, my name's Ernest King, and I also board on the lower side. I live, my son-in-law Larry's house. Thing about it is, everything, if you see all the growth, everything is, we've got enough commercial stuff already. We need to try and save as much residential as we can. I mean, I've been there for 50 years. I don't wanna see just commercial just popping up all around me. So, basically, that's all I gotta say. You know, when he's trying to do something and make money, I can understand that. But, let's say it doesn't happen, doesn't work out for him, and who knows what's gonna be there next? Can you tell? That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Can I add something?
Sure.
I'm Brett Stewman, the owner. I did not know the neighbors felt this way about this, and I would like to go ahead and stop the process of it going into commercial and keep it at residential. If I were known about all this stuff, I would not have held this meeting. I'm not out here to make anybody upset. It's not what I'm trying to do. But these people have lived here a lot longer than I have. You know, I'm just a new guy coming to change the world, and I don't like that neither. I see ranches every day being, 100, 200 acre ranches being cut up into 5 acre spots. And I look at that every time and I say, I would never do that. That's not gonna be me. So that's why I did call these people and ask them what their, opinions are. And, it is hard to talk to somebody face to face. They don't really wanna tell you, but that's fine. I'm glad I heard all this stuff. I do not wanna make anybody mad. I ain't here to ruin anybody's life or endanger their kids, especially my kids. Nobody. There is a lot of traffic on that road. What I was seeing, all I was seeing was dollar signs. Saying, you know what, I could make this into something better. I could, there's already a buttload of traffic down this road. I thought we were moving over to a small road that hardly got any traffic, but like she said, on Saturdays and Sundays, it's a freeway going down that road. I don't even know what the speed limit is, but it's not 60, especially 100 yards from the stop sign. It's crazy going in
out
there.
there.
It's ridiculous, and y'all talk about lights. We can see the whole town of Floresville on the front of Sunnyside Road. And it's everything. So that's what I was seeing, and I guess I had tunnel vision of what I wanted. And I did talk to the neighbors, I thought pretty thoroughly, but I'm glad I heard what I heard. And I do want to go ahead and just stop all the commercial deal. I still would like to do some kind of replat. Now that I've already spent $10,000 to replat this piece of land, and I'm not gonna just throw that away, so I need to replat it into something, right? So, I need to separate, if I do sell it in the future and it's gonna stay commercial, I do need to maybe cut it in half, 3.5 acres, 3.5 acres, I don't know. But right now, it's just a funky shape that already goes around a house, or all together, I don't know. So that's something I'd like to figure out. But as of right now, I do not want to put it in a commercial after hearing all these people's thoughts on that.
You're to be commended, sir. I appreciate it. This is not something we see very often, and I think you and your neighbors are gonna have a great relationship going forward.
Thank you.
I was gonna decline your motion and, to go forward with the rezoning, and what you just said just really makes you feel, for me, we live in such a small town, and it's nice to hear your vision for keeping it the way it is, and I think your neighbors are very relieved as well.
I'm sorry if I caused anybody any grief, and, it is what it is. I was tunnel vision seeing one thing. I'm always thinking about the future, and as a man who reads from the Bible a lot, makes you want to kick your own self in the butt.
Is there anything we can do, from the city perspective for not changing it to commercial, but helping him with his path?
It's on the agenda.
So I'm actually, if he is not willing to move forward with any of his items, he cannot take action on his
Not on
items this
anything,
evening. He will
no.
need to resubmit for another meeting. So, you won't be able to discuss this item any further, so.
Because he's withdrawing,
Since he
right.
has requested to.
Well, I'm just withdrawing the rezoning, not the replat.
It's because it all goes
Yeah,
together.
it all goes together,
Oh.
yeah.
But we'll have another meeting in January. You can just reapply, and, I'm sure the city will be
The
happy
development
to,
department will work with you on that.
yeah,
paperwork
to apply
that
your
you have
fees
submitted.
to your January item.
It's just the application and then
Yeah.
giving this back to us.
But he won't have to pay for his application.
There won't be no notices or any public hearing or anything on that, just for the.
Yeah.
That'll work.
We're gonna make you
Thank
the
you.
benchmark for future developers.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're gonna make you the benchmark for future development.
Do I need to put, if I do sell it, do I need to put restrictions?
Yeah,
This will never be going into commercial?
I think your neighbors would love you.
if you could do that, it would make life a whole lot easier, but,
I'll see what I can do.
yeah.
And that was
Thank you.
Mr. Steuben?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we need to come out, right? No, we stand to C, going to C. So there will be no action on item B, or A. Where are you, buddy? So C, a request to rezone a property from residential single-family R1 to commercial C at 964 US Highway 181 North. At this time, we'll entertain citizens' comments. If you want to go ahead and give us a description, please, Cindy.
So what we have here is rezoning at the property of 964 US Highway 181 North. Where this is actually right next to Lodi Grove subdivision. CDS, right in front of it.
Right in front of Lodi Grove.
Catty
So-
corner to Walmart.
And it's a 5.8 acre lot that's being rezoned. What happened is, it was annexed in, so there was no zoning, and it automatically defaults to R1. So as you can see in the land use, also in all of 181, there was commercial.
And nobody from the Lodi subdivision?
No objections.
Is the owner of that of the property here today? Is there any plans in the application of what they're planning on doing?
I don't think they're here.
But did they, I didn't see anything that, what they were hoping to do other than change it to commercial.
That's correct. They didn't put on there what they were gonna zone it for.
That would come back through to us though, correct?
Yes.
So this was something, didn't we do something similar before to the property next to it? Since it was,
This is the same thing you did with the property next to the property.
Yes.
okay. No, it just, it's been annexed, to 2013.
2019.
Yeah.
Need a motion?
No,
Public hearing.
It's
Oh,
like
I'm sorry,
public
we have to
hearing,
get out of the
all
public
you do
hearing.
is take comments.
I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
yes, if there's no comments,
And it's 4 tracks, correct? So are they also wanting to,
Well, at this time, it's just the one. It's just a 5 acre lot. It's not platted yet.
okay.
if there's no citizen comments, we'll move in. We'll move on to D, a request for a special use permit for installing a manufactured home at 781 4th Street. At this moment, well, I guess Cindy, if you want to explain it, and we'll ask for citizens comments.
It's a special use permit for manufactured home installation. It's right in between Standish and Plum Street.
Okay,
If you're facing northwest, it's on the left-hand side.
okay,
And then the application meets all the requirements.
okay. Is there any citizens comments? A request for a special use permit for installing a manufactured home at 1603 F Street. You want to go ahead and explain
The
this?
same thing.
It meets all the
It
requirements?
meets all the requirements, new home, special use permit for installation. No objections to.
No objections? Okay. Any citizens comments? Okay.
Hi, I'm Brenda Cloud. I'm just curious if this is not a flood zone. Because there's a big dip right there, and I have a property on the corner that comes up. And when it rains, with all the new businesses being built on 181, it's pushing the water further up to the house that I own. So I'm concerned about that being in flood zone.
Please comment.
No, ma'am, it's not in the FEMA flood map. There is, you do clearly see that there's drainage that happens through that lot, yes, but it's not in the FEMA flood map.
Great question though. If that's the case though, would the city require special leveling of the mobile home?
Yes, if it's in the FEMA flood hazard area, yes. We do require them to be.
Often it's, let's say all the businesses are coming around, the water's changing different directions, you can back in and say, okay, now this could be flooded. Is it not, or is it only done?
They conduct studies.
They do,
Because it happens a lot, you look at all the small towns, everything's concrete now, everything's, the water's going all over.
we have other agencies that's actually doing that also. They're doing studies for us. Not so much FEMA, but like Sarah, they're doing that for us. Yeah.
Just curious.
If there's no citizens' comments, we'll move on to F, an ordinance amending the City of Floresville Code of Ordinances, Title XB Land Usage, amending Chapter 153 zoning, modifying the regulations for manufactured homes, manufactured home parks, and mobile homes within the city. You want to give us
We might want to wait till we get to the item
before we go
for
over?
our planner to discuss this, yes.
Then, there's nothing further, we'll go out of our public hearing at 6:37 PM. Moving on to old business, consideration and action to approve regular meeting minutes for the November 5th, 2025 meeting. Yeah, we only have one person other than myself here that was at that meeting, so.
I make a motion to approve the minutes. I read through them.
Okay. Can we all vote on it, or do they need to abstain?
That is up to them if they want to vote on it. If you
Okay.
do not have enough members to vote on it, then
You can bring it back.
You need to bring it back to the next
Okay.
meeting.
Do y'all feel comfortable in voting for it?
I'll work for it.
That's fine. I wasn't here, but I read the minutes too.
I need a motion, please. And I think I have one.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. New business. Consideration and action to approve the Stuman Ranch subdivision. I guess, what do you want to do about that?
Take no action.
Wait, this was the
Okay.
replat.
Right, we're not gonna take action on any of it.
On A, B, or D, or E.
Right.
So no
Do I
action.
need to go, do I need to list them individually?
So actually B is something separate.
I know, but
A,
A,
you take no action.
okay. Do I still need to read it?
No.
Okay. We'll move on to B, consideration and action to approve the Arbor Fields Unit 1 preliminary subdivision plat of 37.50 acres of land within the city of Floresville, S&J Arocha Grant, abstract number 1, Wilson County, Texas, and being the land described in a conveyance to Flowback Limited in the deed of record document number 2022-116669 of the official public record of Wilson County. You go ahead and explain what this is.
So I don't know if y'all are familiar, but this is the property that's north past, Lodi Grove, past, the Daddies.
Mhm.
So Arbor Fields is wanting to develop phase 1, unit 1. It's a 37.50 acre lot out of the 123 acre lot. They're planning to do, they platted 159 lots, and I'll read those lots real quick. And I got with the engineer today. There, 154 is residential. 3 of them are for detention. There's 1 park, a lot for the park, and the rest are open space, green spaces. Your lots, they're typically, I don't know if you saw the plat, it's 40 by 120. The frontage is 40, depth is 120, 4,800 square footage of lot.
45 by 120?
Yes.
Is what you said?
Yes. We received no objections from TxDOT, Phelps, our, Oak Hills, our fire marshal, yes. We do have, studies for the sewer, it does meet capacity. There is a few items that have been redlined that came back from our engineer that was looking it over. They sent it back to their engineer. They're working on answering those comments. They're gonna answer those comments. They're asking though, if those comments, they probably won't be able to complete it until by the council meeting.
So is it really in the best interest for us to make a
I believe
decision
so,
on here?
because I spoke to the engineer, and I'm not sure if they're here.
Oh,
Ryan,
okay.
if you want to come forward, she can explain.
Yeah, I was gonna ask for.
Yeah, so this is the engineer from Arbor Fields.
Okay.
Good evening, Ryan Plagans, of Upper and Company for the engineering, firm preparing the preliminary subdivision plan. I apologize, I don't have the letter from Intrepid Engineering with me, but I did go through just about all the comments, with Cindy earlier today. There are a few of them that I wanted to reach out to the reviewing engineer on, because they were more geared towards the final plat versus the preliminary plat. And then there was, I guess, discrepancies with some line, labeling they requested, that's usually more, the surveyor has a preference of how things are labeled, it's not so much on the engineering side, and it doesn't affect the square footage of the lots or the layout of the plat. And then the other comments were regarding the stormwater report. We're proposing 3 detention ponds to mitigate the runoff. Mostly towards, 2 towards TxDOT to the west, and then 1 to the south towards, the, RV park. I forget what it's called.
Oh, yeah, there's the Eagles Nest.
Eagles Nest.
Yeah.
So we did have 3 detention ponds proposed, and the engineer's, request was to add the effective FEMA date to the report. It's on the exhibit we provide them, but it's not specifically listed out in our report verbiage. So we're adding that. There were four drainage areas that he asked us to take a look at. So we've confirmed that it was just a Scrivener error on the time concentrations. So they are not changing from existing to proposed. So we've clarified that, and then I think he wanted a statement listed in the report, which was in there, but we do need to modify one other subsequent statement after that. But other than that, I believe there's no, that I'm aware of, there's no design concerns, there's no fatal flaws, so to speak, and the city will get to review it again when we go in for final plat.
So you don't know how many lots there's going to be, or did you say
Oh,
that?
it's 154. I have full
150.
size if y'all like to take a look at it. How many acres?
On 100,
37.5.
I think we have,
It might be small, but.
no,
Yeah, they have 11 by 17.
okay, here it is.
So this is just the computer.
I'm missing, so where's the entrance to this from? And there'll be a detention.
Yeah, right here.
Actually, on the next page.
Is there only one entrance, or?
There's one, driveway entrance, and then we have a secondary.
But there's 2 for here.
Where's the secondary emergency?
It'll be right there, right next to the.
These two bigger part. The Eagles Nest,
The
RV
Eagles
park.
Nest entrance will be right next to that. But this is our.
The old Jelly.
Yes.
Okay.
Old
So, Jelly Ranch.
Remember
The big, Harper.
I thought that was all going to be commercial, but we are not planning any commercial development.
What size are the roads?
The right of way is 60 feet, and then the road width, I believe, is 30.
And does that meet code, because
Yes.
Riverbend,
So our fire marshal reviewed all those lanes and I think they have some turnarounds. He says that he has no objections to
Is
it.
EST1 gonna service this?
I don't know who's gonna service it.
Because they're doing this out there further out in the county, and it is not wide enough for emergency vehicles, the way it's planned.
I just know that the fire marshal, Carl Fowler, he reviewed it and he had no objections.
We did make the turnaround, these cul-de-sacs, knuckles larger, for reasons.
and what about for buses, because right now Riverbend can't get buses into those back, communities.
School buses.
We do, so we have wider sections along.
How many homes again?
150.
So we can assume 2 to 4 kids in each one of those homes. Good question.
So this is the master plan that was submitted by, so we're right there. So the collector roads have a wider pavement width, and we have to have a bus, we're not going, and then major, or the main.
So
So you go all the way back.
Are you with Lenore?
I am not.
Okay, because Lenore needs to make the citizens, the people who buy these homes aware, because what happens is the parents get really angry with the school district because the bus cannot get back there to pick up their kids. And so they have to bring their kids, everybody that lives up here goes to San Antonio to work, okay? They can't always be here for the kids to be picked up from the bus, and that makes it difficult.
All the way back here, the future.
So the wider streets were planned that buses could come in for free and turn around.
Well, that,
And so they meet the fire code as well.
but it couldn't go
Some of
down there.
Right, they would likely drop them off at
Right in
the
the corner.
Yes, these are relatively short, they're maybe not even,
And it's not like that.
so
And
maybe
with
200 feet deep.
With the amount of trucks that park and, outside of their driveways,
That's why we went with, that's why we have the wider pavement and what typically is.
These lots are so small, the driveways are very short, and only a one-car garage, so.
We do have, setback.
Of only 5 feet.
Oh, the front, no, it is, 25.
It's 20.
So it was
Is it 5 feet on the sides?
40, this is the road.
Yes, right. So the 20-foot setback, and that's from the right of way, so you have about 12 feet from the curb to the right of way, and then another 20 feet for the driveway.
So they're gonna have a yard.
Yes, the
It's similar to what the North building.
it's very similar to Lodi.
my concern is road and only one entrance.
Well, they do have a safety one, I mean, that,
It's
I
an
agree,
emergency
that
one.
there is an emergency one, so.
But that means the residents can't use it, it's only for
It's for emergency vehicles.
Is there plans to also capture these pieces of land too? Because it looks like you're expecting that.
This was, these were provided as part of the land use plan and annexation. So they asked for step outs for future development or future connections, wherever that may be.
That's, I would,
If they were gonna buy this.
if they were gonna buy this too.
They have,
They want that for the future.
as far as I know, this is all, this is all they purchased. And this still was in the works, it's still bumpy before Lennar purchased the land.
But is this gonna be a PUD?
They are working on it, they submitted.
It already is.
It is one, did
It
it
was-
transfer? Yeah.
It was already approved.
Remind me what a PUD is again?
Public utility district.
Okay.
So that's, they'll be paying them directly.
Well, I have that. If they can also.
Thanks for bringing that.
Thank you so much, here you go. And this too, this is yours.
Around the detention ponds, is there planning on gating to, protect kids from getting in it? Will that be maintained by the HOA or?
Yes.
And the park that y'all are proposing, would that be a city park or a HOA paid for park?
It would be a city park.
But is the HOA, so I've heard city park at Riverbend, that the HOA has to pay for the electric, the sewer, the maintenance, the insurance.
I believe so. They're putting, right now, they don't have any, concrete plans for the park area, because there's a home there and some really nice, trees that they're going to preserve for now. They just
don't know if they're gonna use it as like, transform the home into some type of amenity building. But yes, the HOA would be maintaining any structures.
Is it gonna be a mandatory HOA?
Yes, it would be.
So you have mandatory dues that will pay for these common areas.
And the maintenance.
So that's for a classification for the school district.
Any more comments?
Oh, no, I was just waiting to see.
Okay, do y'all have any more questions? Okay. All right, thank you so much for your time, we really appreciate it. Okay, so I will need a motion on this.
Right there with you. Do we need to give our reasons for declining?
No.
I make a motion, to decline this.
Okay.
I second that.
Have a motion to decline, in a second. All in favor to decline? All in favor to approve? Okay, so it's 3-1 against, 3 against, 1 for. Consideration and action to approve an amendment to the,
You're gonna take
no action, sorry. And then no action on D either. Consideration and action on a request to rezone a 5.801 acre tract of land located at 964 US Highway 181 North from R1 Single Family Residential to C Commercial. Is there any citizens' comments? I will entertain a motion. If y'all don't have any questions.
That's the property that is.
On the corner. Mhm.
Yeah. I motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. F, consideration and action on a request for a special use permit to allow a manufactured home on a .26 acre tract of land located at 781 4th Street. Do you want to go ahead and give us an explanation for this?
Yeah, again, the
It's
applicant.
the same one?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
same one.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Is there any citizens' comment at this time? Okay, I have a motion to, in a second, all in favor? Vote is 404. G, consideration and action on a request for a special use permit to allow manufactured home on a .50 acre tract of land located at 1603 F Street. If there's any citizens' comment? I have a motion to approve, a second, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0 against. H, consideration and action on an ordinance amending the City of Floresville's Code of Ordinances. Title XB, Land Usage, amending Chapter 153 zoning, modifying the regulations for manufactured homes, manufactured home parks, and mobile homes within the city. Does anyone give us?
So we have John James, who's gonna explain, because we've got some changes coming up for the new laws that are gonna be effective by September of next year. John, are you there?
Barely.
Barely hear you, hang on. No, you're still kind of. Hang on, we'll get it. Okay, go ahead and talk.
Little bit, not very well.
Not very well.
Is it us? It might be your mic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit lower, thank you.
Hang on.
A little bit
Try
lower.
again?
A little bit.
All right, one more try, can you hear me?
maybe go down to like 30.
Okay, try it again.
Turn down to 30.
30, go down to 30.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, can you hear me?
I can hear you very loudly now.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, good. Well, again, my name is John James. I'm with Rampage Law, and we've been working on some updates to the manufactured home ordinance for a little while now. In the middle of us doing that, the state legislature met and they changed some of the rules regarding manufactured homes. So we had to make some additional changes to what we had originally proposed. Basically, the two main things that the legislature did was they required all cities to allow manufactured homes in at least one zoning district. And the second piece is that you cannot require a discretionary approval like you just did with those SUPs. Moving forward, you won't be able to require a manufactured home to come through an SUP process. You have to have a zoning district where those are allowed just by right. And so that's one thing that this draft ordinance does, is it basically creates a new zoning district. We called it R1A. It's basically the R1 zoning district, but it also allows manufactured homes in addition to regular single-family homes. If this ordinance gets approved, it will not rezone any properties. So there won't be any areas where manufactured homes will be allowed until we come back and define some areas of the community where this new zoning district will apply. So this is basically creating the rules. We'll have to come back and actually rezone some property to this new district. The second district that this creates is a manufactured home park district. So we're distinguishing between manufactured homes on a single-family home lot as being different from manufactured homes inside a manufactured home park. And so that will be another new district that's created. But similarly, this won't apply to any particular property until we come back with an actual rezoning case. This ordinance does also establish some rules for manufactured home parks. It takes some of your existing rules and incorporates them, but then it does make a few changes to those things like setbacks and lot sizes within a manufactured home park. It updates those standards. One other thing that this ordinance does is it adds a provision that ensures compliance with a recent change in state law that basically requires you to allow the replacement of a manufactured home. So if somebody has an old mobile home or old manufactured home and they want to replace it, the state law says you have to allow them to replace it at least once with a newer manufactured home. And so we've incorporated that state provision into this ordinance as well. I know there's a little bit more to this, but that's kind of the basic overview of what this ordinance does. But I guess at this point, I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any questions about the details.
Yes, I have a question. Does it change, does it change, based on age acceptance?
No, it does not. As I understand it, the current ordinance requires any new placement of a manufactured home to be a home that's no older than 5 years. We've kept that same stipulation in this ordinance, and so it does not change that.
Outline in number 11. 5 years. I did see that there's a new separation between the homes from 25 feet currently to 30 feet. Is that based on the city recommendation, or is that the new Texas law?
That's not based on the state law, so you could keep it at what it is currently. We just typically see that 30 feet is kind of a typical standard that we see. But all of those standards that were summarized there, none of those are in the state law. Those are just some common standards that we see. But you could recommend keeping any of those that you want to keep the way they are today. We could change those back to what the current standards are if that's your desire.
In that under section 12, you have minimum area per lot that currently is at 1,500 square feet and moving to 3,000 square feet. The ones we just approved, how many square feet were those lots? I mean, that's double the size, so would this, by changing that, keep people from buying?
Both lots are very generous, they're very generous lots.
But by making that type of change, because currently it's 1,500 square foot, would we limit homeowners being able to put a manufactured home?
Well, so currently,
Well,
our lot requirement right now is actually 7,500 square feet of lot in our ordinance.
Okay,
yeah, I would add under that 12, that only applies to the lots or what you might call spaces within a manufactured home park. That doesn't apply to just a standalone, single-family lot.
okay, thank you.
I have a clarification question for you, Mr. James. I've read through this 2 or 3 times, and maybe I'm missing something. Currently, to allow a mobile home into a residential area, we have the special use zoning request. This new law, which does not go into effect until September 26, it says you've got a single-family residential manufactured home district, and then you've got mobile home, manufactured home park district. So nothing really changed, right? It's just that zoning designation changed. So people are still gonna be able to come to the board requesting to put in a mobile home where currently brick and mortar homes are built, correct?
That's right, it would just be a rezoning process instead of the special use permit process. But the other benefit of that is if there are areas of town where the city thinks manufactured homes are just okay to go in those areas, you wouldn't have to have each person come in individually and request it. The city could proactively zone some of those areas to this new district.
I see.
Again, if there were particular areas that you thought that was appropriate.
I see. Okay, thank you.
More questions for John?
Thank you, John.
Thank you. So just to answer your question, the one on Fourth Street, that's 11,000 square foot lot. And the other one, it's 218 by 100, so that's pretty generous too. About 12,000.
And what is our goal today, to approve each section, or just to approve as is?
Well, like John has here the summary of proposed changes. So what we have here, is that correct, John?
Well, yeah, you should have,
Modifying
at least,
the regulations.
hopefully there was the summary of proposed changes, but there was also the actual ordinance draft. So, assuming you have that actual ordinance draft, you could make a recommendation on the ordinance tonight and send it on to city council where they would consider it for adoption as an ordinance amendment.
Understanding that we can't make the zoning changes till September 26th.
Exactly, yes.
Well, let me clarify that. You don't have to wait until September of 26 to do this. You just have to have it done by then in order to be compliant with.
It could go
compliant with
into
the law.
effect earlier
If you wanted it to, sure,
if
yeah.
the council
absolutely.
decided to do that, correct?
That's right.
And would the council set that date? So if somebody was already in the works and had a 750 square foot lot that they're wanting to put a home on, is this gonna be well communicated to our community? So if somebody is in the works of doing this, and then the city says we're doing this January 1st, how will that affect those homeowners?
Well, if they were to come up to us and say we want to put a home in a 750 square foot lot, we would tell them they could.
But even if the proposed is a 3,000 square foot
That's for a manufactured home park.
car, okay, I keep forgetting.
If it's in a lot, it'll still be the 7,500 square foot.
Yeah.
If it was a new lot. And, we would notify the public that this is gonna go into effect at this time. It doesn't give you need to do it by next year, but we would send notices out that it's gonna be changed, but we still need to make up a map first.
Yeah.
Before we go any further. You don't have a designated map. Floresville is very mixed, with manufactured homes and houses on the same street, so we need to really go through, be thorough about which ones are gonna have it, which ones aren't gonna have it. You know, the obvious reasons would try to do, if a street is 90% homes, it's gonna probably not be allowed there. That's just gonna start it out there. That's how we're gonna look at some of the things.
That's great, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I'm just recommending for approval. Okay, have a motion to approve and a second.
Yes,
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
and still, then,